Hi, I'm Alyson the Crocheter.
And I'm Vivian the Knitter, and this is the Keep Calm and Carry On podcast. Carry Yarn podcast.
Hello, and welcome to episode 121 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crochet podcast hosted by me, Alyson, and my mom, Vivian. I'm coming at you from Scotland.
And I'm recording in Michigan. You might know me from Pearl and Plum, where I make and sell project bags for knitters and crocheters. And my daughter is the brilliant publisher behind More It, the independent magazine for crocheters. Thanks so much for joining us, whether you're listening on a podcast app or watching us on YouTube.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I messed up.
I feel like it is a hard one, yarn on. Even when you say keep calm and carry yarn, it does kind of sound like you're saying keep calm and carry on. But that's the point, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point. Because we're so punny.
Yeah. So, welcome back, everyone.
Hello. Well, last time we said that I was going to be in a different place when we record, but we couldn't get our act together. I was in Florida, and we tried to record, but then it just didn't work out between your schedule and Emily's schedule. So I'm back in Michigan. Just got back yesterday.
Little traveler you are.
Yeah, I am right now anyway. Let's see.
Yeah, do you want to jump right into WIPs?
Yes, we can jump right into WIPs. I have.
So I should mention this is like our last episode before the end of the Archive KCAL. Yes. So in theory, our Archive KCAL project should be done basically because as of recording, we only have like 3 or 4 more days.
Yeah, but by the time this goes out, it'll probably just have ended. So hopefully, hopefully whoever's participating, you posted your project with hashtag Archive KCAL 2023 on Instagram or posted it in. We've had a lot of participants on Ravelry. Well, a lot. We had a bunch.
Okay. So anyway, sorry. Your WIPs.
Okay.
Whip.
Who wants to go first?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. I know I brought it over here. Hang on. Where'd it go? I finished my mitten number 5. For
your Advent calendar mittens. Mitten Garland Advent Calendar by Kathy Lewinski.
Yes, exactly. So that's number 5. I did it in a blue background with white flowers, or maybe it's a snowflake and little red speckles with green, like holly leaves.
Yeah, holly leaves, because then like some of the reds are berries and some of it's just.
I feel like my mittens are getting.
I feel like the flower / snowflake. It could be like a poinsettia.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, and you can get white ones, can't you? Or like lighter colored ones.
Yeah, you can.
They're not always red.
And I'll show you the rest of the mittens, 1 through 4. So 1. Which one is 2? And they're all like different sizes. 2. Let's drop this one. 3. 4 is definitely the biggest. 4.
Bigger than 5, even?
No. 5 is smaller than 4. 4.
So let's see 1 and. Do you think 1 is the smallest?
1 is definitely the smallest because I think I used.
So let's see 1 and 4 together.
1 and.
Big and the small. The small and the big. Yeah, it's like lengthwise, maybe 3/4 of an inch longer.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but.
Well, I mean, I think I put the thumb on the wrong side on one of them. Oh no! Is it this? No, it's the same. It's the right side. I thought this was a 4 but it's not. The 4 is on this side. Yeah, I think it's because I'm mixing yarn. So I've got Jameson and Smith's and Jameson's.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit of Knit Picks palette. I think the red is Knit Picks palette and it's probably a little skinnier. So that's probably why. That's okay. When it's all spread out on a garland,
it'll look good. Yeah, it's not like they're not significantly. It's not like one is a mini mitten and one is like a real person size mitten or something. They're all like baby mittens.
Yeah. So I did I guess I still have to do the loop on number 4 because I was so excited to start number 5. I just didn't do it, and then I forgot about it until I just saw it now. So number 4 or 5, right? Did 5. Number 6 so far is just blue and white. Not blue and white, red and white. But it's got a gray background. And it's right now it's just it looks like a candy cane. That's it. I don't even remember what the pattern looks like because I started it before I left and I haven't touched it since. So that's one whip. The other whip is a new one. I started a new whip. Remember the nervous fibers that I got at Perth?
Yeah.
So I started my actually it's is it a whip if I'm swatching? I started the swatch. Yeah. It's called the Misurina by Caitlin Hunter. And oops. This is what it looks like.
What is it?
It is a top-down tee with some color work and cables and lace. So it's a short sleeve.
All the things.
All the things. All the things that I like. And the yarn is a linen and wool. So I think it's 50-50.
Yeah, pretty nice
I don't know where
short sleeve top.
It doesn't say so on the thing, but I'm pretty sure that's what she said. That was 50-50. Okay. Anyway, so this is all I've gotten. Just a few rows of the going around and around for the gauge swatch. So I haven't gotten very far.
Oh, for the gauge swatch.
Yeah.
Oh, I was confused for a second. I'm like, is that the neck hole? It seems kind of small.
No, it's a gauge swatch. And I decided to do it fairly big because it's a garment and on my shortest cord so I can get it around and just knit it in around. So I'm excited about this one, a new project. What?
Is it a single?
Yeah, it is.
So online she has linen singles which are 90-10.
Oh, really? I don't know where I got 50-50 from then. I don't know if you can tell from the camera. It is a singles.
Yeah, I think. Nice.
90 what? 90
merino, 10 linen.
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay, I'm assuming the website is correct because I had no idea.
Nice.
Those are my only whips.
So my whip is my Archive KCAL project.
I'm not gonna finish.
The moral of the story is never finish anything. But look how cute my puffin is.
That's not finished.
Oh, wait, I should show you the side with the wing. No, it's not finished. So she's only got one wing for one. And I haven't completely finished sewing on the wing because it took multiple attempts to get it in this position. So I think it's in a good position, but I stopped just in case I had to, I was not happy with it and would undo it because I haven't done the second one yet. The second wing is still just a circle. It's like a sort of a circle and then it's folded in half. But yeah, I was struggling because it seemed really wide and I was like, how am I going to sew it on? And but I think I've just about managed. And even with the sewing it on, I followed the instructions for, so this is the Bonny Puffin Pika Pow from the Pika Pow, the first book. And I followed her instructions on how to sew like open-ended pieces to a closed piece. So in this case, that was my beak, which is obviously open to the head. And it came out really well. And I hadn't sewn it the way she recommended before. And so I tried the same with her description for how to sew like this wing on. And I didn't really understand what she was trying, like it wasn't as clear. So I tried to do it and I think I've done it in a way that it's like fairly tidy. But I might go back over. I'm not really sure. So yeah. So she needs her second wing, and then she needs legs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it could be, you know, it wouldn't look super weird without legs.
Yeah.
But she will get some legs.
What do the legs look like?
So they like a little tube and then like a sort of triangle-y shape,
okay.
or like they've got like webbed sort of like duck feet almost. And then that will be in, I think, in like a similar color to the beak, so like the corally color. I guess you could also do it in, because there's also like a bit of like a golden yellow around the beak, so you could do it in that color too if you wanted.
You have 3 days.
But I think
3
I'm gonna
days.
do it in the coral. I know. I'm just not used to working on like amigurumi, and it's just so tight, and it's quite fun. It's a 4-ply yarn, so my thumb, like when I was working on the wings, I did, you know, almost 2 wings just in one evening, and even after that I was like, oh my god, my thumb. So I had to take a break.
So that's why most people like to do amigurumi in like a thick yarn.
Yeah, I guess.
And smaller needles.
But
very cute.
But she's so cute. Oh, and the hat. She's supposed to have a hat as well.
I guess it's not KCACYCAL if Alyson doesn't finishes
the project. Yeah. I was just thinking actually for the hat. I've got the color. I can't remember if I'm doing it in a red color or a blue color for the hat and the cotton. But I could totally just make a hat with any other yarn. So I could use a chunkier yarn, and then she'd have, like, her hat would be made, you know, differently than her body. So it would actually be like, yeah, you could do like something woollier. That'd be cute.
Yeah. What? Depending on what color you use. It is really cute. You did a really good job.
And you know what's funny? Emily didn't realize I was making this for her baby.
Oh, because we haven't actually said anything. Emily's pregnant.
Emily's pregnant, yeah. I think we're allowed to say now. So Emily, who has been on the podcast before as like a sort of guest, because she also knits and sews, she is pregnant, and she knew I was working on this, but she thought it was just for me.
Well, that's because, you know, you have made stuffies for yourself.
Yeah, I know. But I think it was until I mentioned in the last episode that it was for a baby, and then I think she was like, "Oh well."
A baby who isn't here yet, I think you said, or something that you know who I'm talking about, meaning me.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my one whip. Yes. But speaking of babies, our Buzzfeed quiz is baby themed.
Yes, nice segue.
It's, yeah, I guess it's sort of like a quiz, but it's interesting because it uses AI. Because Buzzfeed is jumping on that bandwagon as well. So the quiz is this baby name generator uses AI technology to give you the perfect name, and then the tagline is "The search is over." And Emily has already picked a name for a baby, which I won't mention because, you know, she might still take backsies. Who knows? She can change her mind.
Oh, okay. I have to retake it because for whatever reason.
Okay. So if you do that, will we do it live? Because I've already picked mine. So the first question is, what sort of baby name would you like? Girl, boy, or gender neutral?
I said gender neutral.
Okay, I've gone with boy because Emily's having a boy. I want my baby's name to take inspiration from literature, nature, history, mythology, royalty, or none of these. I've gone for literature. What did you go for?
I went for nature. I'm doing the exact same. At least I think I am. Thanks for what I did the first time.
And then you can have a second topic for inspiration. What did you pick?
Literature.
Was that a second? That's not even an option, is it?
Oh, it's not? Oh, I'm sorry. Music.
Country.
Music.
Music. Okay. I I went for science. So wait, you definitely did pick nature for the first one, yeah?
For the first one,
not literature.
Yes, I picked.
Yeah,
because I couldn't decide, but then in the end I went with nature because I went. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I went for science, but funny that one of the options is Disney. And then, do you want a traditional or modern name?
I said it depends on the name.
That's fair. I went for traditional. And then pick the trendy baby name you like the most. And those names were Aurora, Maeve, Violet, Daphne, Atticus, Soren, August, or Finn.
So, if I had picked my favorite, it might have been Daphne, but because I was going for the gender neutral theme, I went with August.
Okay, I did pick Daphne because I figured like it's it's the vibes, right?
Yeah,
I like the Daphne vibes, so you could pick a boy's name that has Daphne vibes, and then you had to pick a trendy name that you disliked the most from Atlas, Royal, Caspian, Arlo, Luxury, Ophelia, Luna, Clara.
I picked Luxury.
Same. I was gonna say if there was one that we would definitely pick the same, probably this one.
Mm-hmm.
Luxury. I have, absolutely. Who even? I don't know. I feel like I can't say that, but who has that name? Anyway. And then finally, this is good. How would you spell a name like Haley? I feel a little biased because I have a friend called Haley, so I went with her spelling, but I like her spelling.
Oh, I must have done something different because I got a different answer.
Well, I went for Hayleigh for Haley.
I went with Hailey. I wonder what I picked different, or is it just maybe
I think
because of the AI?
Maybe that's what I thought, but I took it twice and got the same answers and got the same name.
Well, no, all of my. Okay. Because I'll tell you so this time around, my baby name is River. This name references nature as it is the flowing waterway that is a vital part of many ecosystems. It can also be associated with the musicality of flowing water. The name River is modern and has gained popularity in recent years. I just think of River Song from.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Doctor Who.
Same exact thing, yes. Which is Doctor Who reference for anybody who doesn't know. The baby name that it gave me was Eliot, and it says this name is a nod to the famous author T.S. Eliot. It means Jehovah is God and is of Hebrew origin, which, while still a traditional name, it has a unique and modern feel to it.
I like the name Eliot. Yeah. My first one was Willow. I don't remember what the descriptor was, but I don't feel that Willow is very gender neutral though.
Willow. Yeah.
I feel like if it was named for a boy, the boy would get bullied.
Maybe not. But yeah, I guess I think more of it being a name for a girl because of Willow Smith.
Or I just think of like a description how, somebody will.
Oh, like
willowy limbs, and you wouldn't necessarily describe a man that way, or most men wouldn't want to be described that way.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That just made me think completely unrelated. I was explaining to two students from China about the word ginger to describe people's hair. And then I was going through like different ways we refer to people's hair color, like blonde and then brunette. But I was like, brunette only applies to a woman. No. As far as I know, there is no male equivalent, really. Is there? I guess mostly only refer like.
But then with ETTE is a woman and just ET is a man. I don't know.
But we don't have brunette ET in English like that. I guess you could call it. Would you call a man a brunette?
Maybe
you would.
Wouldn't.
I guess you could. But
I remember because technically Chinese was my first language. Because we spoke Chinese at home until I started school. And I didn't know the word blonde because it had never come up on Sesame Street or whatever. Yeah. And my partner, the girl that sat next to me, her name was Ruth, and she had blonde hair. And I just kept saying, "Oh, your hair is so yellow." It's yellow. Your hair, you have yellow hair. And she's like, "What?" Because I didn't know the word for blonde. It's like, well, yeah, it is yellow.
Yeah. Well, the students, they made the point, because when I was saying how, I don't know why I mentioned somebody's ginger hair. I think we're talking about Ed Sheeran. And they looked at me and they were like, "But ginger is yellow." And I was like, "Yeah, well, you got me there." I don't know why that's...
Yeah, ginger is yellow, not really red.
Or orange.
Well, I mean, red is orange. A redhead is actually more orangey than... So I have a cat scratching at the door right now. I won't let her in because while I was away, she's had a couple accidents in my sewing room.
Potty accidents.
Yes. So I won't let her in now. And she started peeing right in front of me just now before we started recording.
Yeah, I can confirm. I was on the phone when it happened.
So I don't know. I think she's just mad at me for being gone for so long. I don't think it's she's having any health issues. I don't know. I can have tonight. I'm gonna have to go around the house with the blue light and see if there's any other spots when it's darker.
Oh dear,
poor baby.
Right. You must have some Archive KCAL FOs.
I do. Just one. I finished the Hand in Hand Sweater Vest by Kathy Zimmerman. Yay! And it looks so small because your dad is so skinny.
Because he's so small.
But it fits me. I mean, it's like, I can fit into it. It's very stretchy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I tried blocking it a little wider just so it would be more comfortable, but it just rang right back. So he's tried it. I think I should have made the neck hole a little bit
bigger.
Started it a little earlier to make it bigger, but I'm not gonna fuss with it. He still has room for you can see a collar inside of the neck hole. But for me personally, I would rather have it be a little bit lower. Oh well, I'm not gonna redo this one. It looks so good. I still have to weave it in, so I finished it.
Yeah.
I finished it the day before I left, or just a couple days before I left. Finished sewing it. So yeah, I'm super happy with it. Mostly because I'm done.
Yeah, I was like, you basically made it 1.5 times.
Yeah, I did.
Because you had to redo them.
Yeah.
Wait, it was the front that you had to redo as well, right?
Yeah, so there's more. It's more involved.
That was the harder side to redo.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad.
Good job.
I'm glad. So I did I talk about how it was weird that they made the front wider than the back?
I don't think I remember you mentioning that.
Oh, so...
Unless I completely zoned out in one of our episodes.
I'm pretty sure I talked about it. So, when I made the front the first time around, I didn't flip the page. So, I was just following the instructions for the back when it comes to the arm decreases. And then when I had, when I had to do the neck, I was just, going back and forth. And then the second time around, I was like, wait a minute. The front arm decreases are different from the back arm decreases. So it would have been the front was wider. Would have been wider.
So they were shallower, the decreases?
Yeah, then and I was like, if it's different, the back would be wider than the front, not the other way around. So I didn't follow it. I just followed the back. So there, and plus in the picture,
weird.
The schematics, it's the same. So I don't know if that was a misprint or what, but
yeah. Did you look if there was any like errata?
I did look, but there wasn't. Nothing. But then not a lot of people have made this, so who knows? That's one disadvantage for an Archive KCAL that's from my magazine, because I feel like, especially an older one, there's just like less people putting it on Ravelry and stuff and noticing that there's a...
Yeah, for like an old one. If it was a magazine from 3 years ago, you probably but...
Yeah, I'm saying, because this was like 2007 or 8, and that was when Ravelry just started. It would have been a while before it actually made it onto a Ravelry page. But yeah, it looks good, like this.
Nice.
Okay. So that's my first FO. I have another FO. Actually, I have 3 FOs. I finished my infinity scarf. I still have to weave in the end, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yay. So, I didn't add the 4th color after all. I started adding the 4th color, but then I realized that it would have been too long. I didn't want a whole section of more striping and then solid and then more striping.
So you've got the bunny brown.
So I have the bunny brown.
The light blue.
Yep, the light blue, like aqua, and then a teal, and then striped in between each color block. So it's a good length for me to...
So was there like one more like darker color to go?
No, it would have been in between the teal and the light aqua. And when I don't have the color with me, but when I started striping it with so it would have been on this side, with the teal, it looked just like this side, because they weren't next. It wasn't next to the light aqua. Yeah. It didn't look like I had a 4th color. It just looked like I was repeating another color. So I was like, well, what's the point? And then also, I think it would have been way too long. So
yeah. Well, let's see it wrapped around twice now. Yeah, nice.
I feel like it's the perfect length to wrap. If it was, I would have had to wrap it around 3 times, or it would have been like all the way down here, wrapped around twice.
I mean, even as it is, you could wrap it around 3 times, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, technically.
If it was like as a coat, yeah.
It would be a very tight cowl, but yeah, I can physically wrap it around 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Nice.
Yeah, so this was what is it, like a palette cleanser type project where I didn't really work on that much consistently, so I'm happy. I'll have to weave in the ends and block it, but otherwise I'm considering this an FO.
Nice.
And my 3rd FO I don't have with me, because I started that right before I left for for Florida, and it's called Bunny Lovey by Kathy Lewinski, the same person that the mitten garland, the same person that designed the mitten garland. And I did take a picture of it before I left, because we were supposed to record in Florida, but of course that didn't happen. So here is the picture, of my Bunny Lovey.
So it's like one of those
It's like a little security blanket with a head attached, but I added the arms.
I was gonna say, there's arms.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's wearing a dress.
It's like a ghost bunny.
Yeah, like a ghost bunny.
So I actually knit the head like 3 times. I just didn't like the way it was coming out, and then I ended up using like really tiny needles, like size 3 needles, I think it was. Or size 1, whatever the needle recommendation was, I went 2 sizes down for both the head and the blanket. The blanket was kind of boring to do. It was just a kind of like a seed stitch, a double seed stitch is what they called it, where you repeated like the knit purls on both sides, and then the 3rd row you would purl the knits and knit some purls. If that makes any sense. Yeah, so we went to the Carter's outlet while we were in Florida. while I was in Florida, and kind of went gaga over like all the baby things. And I saw one, you know, a machine, you know, a fleece, one of these Loveys, but it was, you know, it had bear's ears and stuff, but it had arms, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much cuter. So that's why I decided
there's floating head
to put the arms in. And I didn't even have to experiment too much with the arms. I just doubled whatever the ears was, and then knit it to the right length that I wanted, and increased it a little bit so it looks like it's a hand. So
did you stuff the arms a little bit?
Yeah, I stuffed. So this is what the original looks like. It's just a head on top of a little security blanket. I didn't have my polyfill with me, so I stuffed it with the rest of the yarn. I didn't really have that much yarn left over, so I just put the yarn in there. And it's a very fluffy yarn. It's a Knit Picks yarn, called Snuggle Puff, and it's cotton. It's like 80% cotton and 10% nylon, something like that. But it's really, really fluffy. It almost looks like roving. So I was able to fluff it up and just tuck it into the arms. And funnily enough, the name of the color I used was called Bunny.
Oh, nice.
So so that was my third FO. And I'm assuming you don't have one, at least not one that you can talk about.
Yes, not one I can talk about. I finished 2 things though that I can't talk about. Very helpful.
But when do you think you can talk about it? August. So right before the issue comes out. Because it comes out in
July, maybe.
Because it comes out in
basically
September.
Whenever the pre-orders open.
Oh, I see.
Which is about roughly 2 months before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when I can talk.
But I've seen it and it looks fabulous.
Thanks.
Cool. That's all the crafting I have. Oh, I do have an FO that doesn't have anything to do with yarn or anything. Emily and I worked on a mural.
Oh yeah.
In the baby's room, and I think it turned out really fabulous.
So good. So
it's like a woodland scene, and there's like a little bunny right there under the big tree. So she wanted to do a monochromatic theme, but not not black and white. So she did all the color picking. I was like, whatever you want, I'm just the help. And so she picked this bright teal that we muted it a little bit with some black and some white. They had plenty of white, not white yarn, white paint for another project. And it was funny because when we started out, it just looked like it just looked so flat because that's not it. We just started it, and I was showing your dad the picture, and he's like, I don't know what the heck you are doing. So this was the first day. Oh, shoot.
So you guys painted the background first.
So we painted the background first.
Yeah. So the background trees are like
trees are like a lighter teal color. And then we painted, and then some of those trees became like the mid-ground trees. So we darkened it a little bit and added shading. And then that was the second day. But that's even before we painted the walls, because we did like an ombre effect on the walls.
Yeah. Right.
And then the third day, we started out with the foreground trees, and it's like, it looks like a spooky tree. Right now the tree doesn't have it. It's like a dark teal. We did add some black and a little bit of white to the bright teal not yarn paint, that the original paint. And this is pretty much the end product that you have already seen, with all the highlights and the lowlights. And before Emily added the rabbit, and the reason why there's so many rabbits is because it's the year of the rabbit. So this baby will be a rabbit.
A rabbit.
Or a bunny.
Do you have any other rabbits in the family?
My paternal grandmother, that's it. So you can see, this is my...
Inky fingers.
Yeah, I was like, because I was sponging, I did a lot of the shading and the sponging while she was painting like the highlights with the paintbrush, but so my hands were like completely covered, and her husband's like, oh, you should use gloves. Like, yeah, I didn't really think about that until I started, because like when I'm painting with a brush, it's not so bad, but then with a sponge, like you're rolling the sponge in your hand, and it's just like, it was just a mess. And I did find that the blue paint, it was a lot harder to rub off of your fingers than the white paint or the light colored paint. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. It's just different. So yeah, I was covered in paint for a few days because I can't always
Emily told me she found an ice cube in the ice cube tray with paint on it.
Yeah.
And she said that it was you.
It was probably me because I had the most paint on me. And I was the one that was making all the ice because I was using all the ice. So it probably just fell off of my fingers.
Yep.
Oh well.
Yeah, it came out really great.
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun doing that. I've forgotten how fun it is to
Emily's going to be really sad the day she has to paint over that.
I know, she's already talking about that. It's like when we have to move, like what, you know, if we were asked to paint over it, you know, like you might have to paint over it when you put your place on the market because not everybody's going to want something like that. And then she's like,
you just hide it with a big curtain. What? Back here? Nothing. It's just on my curtain.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you might have to paint it, you know. Who knows in a few years? Because I don't think they don't want to stay there forever.
Yeah.
That is it for me.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Will I do spiel?
Sure. You don't have any yarny bits or any...
No bobs either.
No bobs. No bits and no bobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can find the show notes for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram also at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Alyson here, and my mom's is upstate_Viv. You can subscribe and like and comment and rate and review and heart and favorite and all the things wherever you listen to podcasts or on YouTube. You can join the Ravelry group. Just search Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast in the group tab. Thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn. Bye.
Bye.